Okay, good evening and welcome to Mishna Yomi. We're learning Maseches Kilayim, Perek Vav, the sixth Perek, Mishnah Beis and Mishnah Gimel. Mishnah Beis says, an artist shehu yotzim min hamadrega. We're talking about an artist where basically you have five grapevines, and the vines are rolled around, they're wrapped around a pergola or a stick or something like that, and the vines go onto a hill, or they go onto a place that's very far away from the ground. If you can stand on the ground and reach the entire length of these vines and take grapes, all the grapes that grow from these vines, just standing on the ground, even the ones that are on the hill, maybe it's not a big hill, then it would aser 4 amos, meaning you have to be marchik. We said it has din of a karam and aris. So you have to distance 4 amos from the end of these vines. If it doesn't, you can't reach all the clusters of grapes, then you only ask for connecto. What does it mean connecto? So this is a machlokas between the Rambam and the Rav Avadia Bar Tanura. Rav Bar Tanura says that it really doesn't have the din of a karam anymore, and therefore even from the ikr gefanim, from where the vines start, it's not aser dalet amos. It's just on top where the vines are, where the actual vines are. You can't midrabanan, you can't plant underneath it because it looks like a karam. The Rambam learns kenegdo means you only aser. You don't start counting the 4 amos from the end of the vines. You start counting the 4 amos from the beginning of the gefanim. Apparently, he holds it still would have a din midraisa of a karam. Lezer Omer, we're going to talk about that in Iyot Mishnayos, the Machlokas. Lezer Omer, afanotea achas ba'aretz va'achas b'madrega. A similar halacha, nothing to do with an artist anymore. We're talking about 2 rows, right? We said in order to be a karam, another way of being a karam is to have 2 rows, at least 2 rows of 3 vines. Or technically, if you have 2 rows of 2 with one yotzei zana, one in the middle at the end, it could be. So let's say you have one of these rows is on flat ground, and one of them is on a hill. And so achas baris v'achas madrega imvom in haaretz asar tefachim. If the second row is 10 tefachim higher, and mitzaref is ima. V'imlav harizim mitzaref ima. If it's 10 tefachim or higher, so it's not considered 2 rows. It's not considered a karam. And if it is within 10 tefachim, it would be considered 2 rows. It would be considered a karam, a vineyard, and therefore we don't hold like Rabbi Lezer. That's what the poskim say, because he seems to argue on Elazar ben Yaakov. Elazar ben Yaakov would hold it would be considered a vineyard even if the second row is 10 tefachim higher than the first row. Mishnah Gimel Amad le'as hagefen al mixas a peep yarod. Someone who takes a vine and he makes it hover, mixes a pipriot, right? We talked about when you entangle the vines in, you wrap it around a pergola. What about if you have like a lattice work where you have crisscross and you want to extend? Some people do that for decorative purposes. They want to extend their vines on a lattice work it's more advanced than a pergola. So he extends the vine on this lattice work. Now he only extends it on lattice work partially. The second half, the rest of the lattice work, there's no vines over there. You still can't plant anything else underneath this other portion of the lattice work. It doesn't have vines on it. But if you did plant something else there, it does not makadesh. It doesn't make it to be aser. But the vines extended over the remainder of the lattice work and you planted underneath it, that would make a kilayim midoraisa. The same thing would apply if you extended your vines onto a tree that just has branches, meaning a tree that doesn't produce fruit. And you extended it to part of the tree. The same din would apply as a pipriot, that it would only be aser directly underneath it. Even the extension would be aser, but it would only mekadesh underneath it, as opposed to an elon which grows tree, a fruit-bearing tree. Then the fruit-bearing tree is not batel at all to this extension of the vines, and therefore where it doesn't reach wouldn't be aser. Meaning where the vines are under the vines would be aser, but not under the vines. The extension wouldn't be aser by a fruit-bearing tree. That's the end of Mishnah Yomi today. Stay tuned for Iyot Mishnayos. We'll discuss more in depth. Bye.